Bonjour la classe, pour cette vidéo de grammaire, on va parler de la leçon 4. Premièrement, la négation, puis l'obligation, la possibilité et les recommandations. So you'll see that this is the main one in your book under focus long, but before we get into that, I wanted to talk a bit about la négation, which is very important. Okay. You may have seen the first one already, ne pas. Je ne sais pas comment faire mes devoirs. In case you need this as a little revision, just make sure that your ne goes before the conjugative verb and then the pas goes right after it. Okay, so this is one of the general rule when it comes to négation. Okay, obviously there are going to be exceptions, but for now, just keep it simple with that rule. Okay, you'll see that for all of these, the ne will go before the conjugative verb and then the negative will go after. Okay, ne plus, je n'ai plus de café. Now, when to use which, let's just say when you want to emphasize that there's nothing left, okay? Like absolutely nothing left, then plus is a bit more intensive than pas, okay? Can you say je n'ai pas de café? Absolutely. Okay, it's just a choice that you want to emphasize or not. Ne rien, nous n'avons rien à manger. We have nothing to eat. D'accord, that's another one. Ne personne, il ne connaît personne dans sa classe. He knows no one. Okay, personne here means no one. Okay, if you just make sure that whenever you're using these négation, you're always pairing it with ne. Okay, there's another one that I forgot to add. It's, all right, let's see here. Ne. All right, let's move that over. Ne and then jamais. We'll see this in a bit. Okay, that's another négation. Je ne mange jamais de légumes, right? So I never, so jamais is never, eat vegetables. Okay, this is not true, but just for the sake of this video. Okay, so these are all négations that you can use to better your writing. Moving on. For this lesson, or for leçon 4, you'll see this is one of the main objectives. Exprimer l'obligation. So for this one, you have lots of options. Now, you're not going to be asked on an exam to memorize all of that, as you may have imagined already. This is basically for writing, okay? First one you could use is pouvoir and then infinitif. Votre fils peut partager une chambre. This could also fall into the category of it being une possibilité, all right? It's not one or all, right? You can obviously be using different scenarios to talk about the different options that you have. So the only thing that I need from you is when you're using it, make sure that you use it correctly. So if you're using pouvoir and infinitif, make sure that pouvoir is conjugated well based on your subject. And then whatever follows, whatever verb follows, has to be infinitive. Remember, if you have a conjugative verb, whatever verb follows needs to be infinitive. Doesn't matter if it's pouvoir, devoir, or whatever. Same thing here, devoir infinitif. So you're saying an obligation. Vous devez adresser votre demande à UBC. Donc, devez, okay, you'll conjugate that based on your subject, and whatever follows remains in l'infinitif. Okay, another way to write this is il faut adresser. Okay, so these two mean the exact same thing. Okay, il est impératif de infinitif. Okay, il est impératif de réserver votre billet. It is imperative that you reserve your ticket. Okay, so this one could be another one that you can say il est nécessaire. It is absolutely necessary for you to reserve your ticket. Il faut, we've seen this already here. Make sure that you have your il faut followed by être, okay, the infinitive. Il faut être présent en classe. Another construction that, again, you can choose whichever you want based on the writing that you're going to be doing, okay? As long as I see these construction, I gave you a point because I know that you have mastered how to use it. Another one is impératif. Remember, impératif, one, you have n'hésitez pas à me poser des questions. So this would be your impératif. All right, moving on. Exprimer l'interdiction. So saying that you cannot do something. Il n'est pas possible de. Okay, il n'est pas possible de faire la cuisine. Encore une fois, you have your infinitive here. And then as we have seen already, on ne fait jamais la cuisine. Okay, that we never do something. So it's for cases where it's very like the jamais, the impossible is very emphasized. That's when you use these constructions. Okay, again, can you use other construction? By all means. Okay, so this is just giving you a little leeway of how to use that. Speaking of, so this might be something that you might get, right? Décrivez votre hébergement, and in the test question I'll ask you, use construction to exprimer l'obligation, exprimer l'interdiction, etc. So that would be your grammar component. So let's just say you wrote something like this. This will give you a very good mark because you're using the constructions that we just went over. J'habite avec une famille d'accueil en Guadeloupe. Ici, il n'est pas possible de parler l'anglais, right? So this would be interdiction. Il faut toujours parler le français, okay? So this one would be obligation, right? You could say, on doit toujours parler le français. That would be the same thing. Ils sont vraiment gentils, tu pourras ou tu peux aller au marché avec eux. So that would be a possibility, right? You have your verb pouvoir followed by an infinitive. N'oublie pas d'apporter ton propre argent. Remember here we have impératif, right? It's just a reminder. It could be a recommendation. Again, the categories are not fixed. D'accord, so for this one, je dors dans une petite chambre. Je n'y partage pas avec personne. Again, just wanted to bring your attention to this because we've done this already. Le pronom I, just ask yourself this question, what is it replacing? It's replacing dans une petite chambre. Remember, if you have dans, chez, en, that tells you that if you want to replace that area, you're going to be using I, right? Another way to know is je dors où, when you're asking the question où, that should give you that sentence. D'accord? For the sake of this video, remember, if you want to say you're not sharing it with anyone will be personne, and you cannot have personne in a sentence where you're using négation without the ne. Okay, I hope everyone found this helpful. Again, if you have any question, please feel free to email me. And bonne journée à tout le monde.